Hello and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got another great show for you, all about taking time for yourself with my co-host, Lucky Smith.
Hey, it's great to be here. Appreciate your time.
Oh yeah, appreciate everybody's time. You know, it's a privilege to come here and have you take your time out and listen to us have a conversation. And as we learn, you will learn. And if you have comments or questions, don't be afraid to put them in the comment section down below or email us.
Absolutely.
And we will try to do our best to respond. Maybe we'll make a show on it.
Absolutely. And I appreciate all the comments. Honestly, even if you might sound, this doesn't sound right, make the comment. It doesn't matter. We learn from everything. As long as we don't take offense to it, we can learn from it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes, I do. And I get some great show suggestions. People are always saying nice things. Sometimes they're criticizing, but you know what? I take that with credit that I'm doing something.
Exactly. As long as we're comfortable with ourselves, criticism is just a suggestion, and we can go and we can move forward and learn from it. And that's the most important thing, to learn from criticism, learn from your mistakes. Learn from everything.
Yes. Bring better quality every single time. So tonight we're going to talk about taking time for yourself, which we brought up kind of before in a way of, you know, we work all the time. And do we actually, sometimes I forget about taking time for myself. I have a list. I got a little whiteboard and it sits on my refrigerator, and like on the weekend and I'm off, I'll write down all these things that I need to do. I need to do this, that, all these things. And this weekend I had a whole big list of things to do. And on there, I put one thing for myself, and that was go for a hike. You know what? The one thing I did not get done on that list was go for a hike.
That is so important that you might want to put that on the top of your list, so that though you're not going to do it first, you'll keep looking down, but you keep going to the top of the list. I haven't done this yet. That's the most important thing, is that you have to take time. If you have to schedule it, take time for yourself, because this world, we're just always working so hard for the money, for the job, for a family, but we lose time for ourselves. And a lot of times, if you really want to help other people, but you don't take enough time for yourself, you end up making mistakes in your help. So if you don't know what you need and you don't address your needs first, when you help other people, are you really helping them, or are you making mistakes in your suggestions?
Well, and I think you said something that I got a little ringing in my ear that's saying, put yourself at the top of the list, because who's the most important thing to be concerned about is you, not all these other frivolous things like, oh yeah, I got to wash some dishes and I got to wash my clothes and I got to clean the house. And I those were things on my list. Wash my truck, clean my stuff out, get ready for work. And yeah, those are all important things, but what is the most important thing? Me. Should be on the top of the list. I didn't take time enough to think about myself, but I thought about all this other crap.
That's the problem, because a lot of us, especially the really kind, compassionate, healthy people, we forget to take time for ourselves. We want, oh no, that's selfish. I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to seem self-centered. But no, a good, compassionate, kind people do help themselves first, but they don't use it to hurt other people. They just take themselves first. And now, yes, we're always told, oh, you're so selfish, you're like a narcissist. That's what we think, that little voice in our head, that terrible voice well, that's just like a narcissist. No, narcissists will take themselves first at the expense of others. And I keep saying this over and over again, because someday I'll believe it, take myself first. But that's what things we have to do, what we need first, without hurting anybody else, but get our things done, get ourselves all wrapped up, so that we can help others and not, be worn out or, all these activity in our minds. Because honestly, walking, hiking for me clears up so much in my mind. Although sometimes that old stuff comes in as I'm hiking, but as I'm walking and I'm able to take my pictures, my videos, or just being with myself walking, it takes so much off of you. It just like, just disseminates. So it's like a mental cleaning.
It is. And when I go, I take my camera too, and I think about it now. Like today, I was kicking myself because I'm like, wow, I missed going for that hike, and I didn't get any pictures. I didn't take time for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I might have missed seeing a beautiful deer out there, or some big hawk that flies up in the air, or some beautiful scenery, or something. I missed what was out there,
Mm-hmm.
and now I got zero. I didn't do a walk and talk.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about things because, like you said, my head gets clear. I feel exactly what you said. It's every. I don't have any worries about anything out there. It's just me and the world around me.
Mm-hmm.
Everything goes to, you know.
That's the thing is, on my way to work, I know of every hiking trail from my home to work because I always think to myself, someday I'm going to stop. Either going to leave home early before I go to work, just do a short walk, or after work, do a short little walk. But I know of every hiking trail. I've written them all down to say I'm going to do that. But I haven't hiked any of them. Although I drink beer once in a while. I don't drink that much, but there's a little microbrew, and there's a couple hiking trails, and I have actually stopped on the way back from the microbrew place to take these hikes. And that's one thing is that when I'm doing something for myself is buying the beer. It's only 4 beers, and I do it every couple of weeks, but to me, even though I had problems with alcohol in the past, but beer's never been my problem. I'm going off on a tangent, but the most important thing is I take time for myself, even if it's the beer, even if it's the hike. That's one thing is we have to keep doing is that find these things that we need for ourselves and partake of them.
Yeah, partaking in something for yourself, because if you're not good with yourself, it gives you time to think. I mean, what are we here? Are we really here just to work for that job? I mean, sure, we all need money. And I know I need money, and I got to have it to pay the bills. And the more I work, the more money I got, the more I can have. But really, is having all this stuff worth working all that hard for? And sometimes that's a big question in my head. Like, I keep working, and I got to maintain more, and I got to have more, and I want better stuff, and I gotta look like I'm going somewhere. I'm gonna have a better vehicle. I'm gonna have better stuff. I'm gonna get the latest whatever. And I'm pretty frugal. I don't go out and spend crazy money or nothing. But then again, I think my friend, Mr. Gus, he says to me, he says, we compared each other. Well, he has a house and I got a house.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a car and I got a car. He's got the dog and I got a dog. And he's got chickens and I got chickens. And well, you know what? He's got all the same stuff I got. I might have a little better stuff of certain things, but most of the other stuff is exactly the same. And sure, I got some money in the bank and I can afford to go buy what I need when I need it to maintain all that stuff. Whereas he doesn't. I mean, he still has the stuff, but he has to be real frugal and tight and but he still has the same stuff. It's maybe not the quality stuff I got, but it's the same. It's all the same. I'm just a little higher on the scale.
Right.
So
that's another important thing is appreciate for what you have. One of the things keep popping up is that you might not be rich, but you can fix, clean up, or make nice the things that you do have. Mm-hmm. If you live in a crappy house, that doesn't mean you can't work and make it better. I mean, wood's expensive, but doing a little bit of work, you can get a little bit of wood here and there and get things making better. If you have a crappy car, you might have to do some of the work yourself. That might be challenging, especially now with the newer cars. But if you have an older car, you're in better luck with an older car than with a newer car because you can do some of those repairs yourself. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more effort, but you might have to know somebody. But if you are in the right alignment, the right people will come into your life and you can, you know how to fix cars? Let's work together. And I'll do something for you if you can help me. Not fix my car for me, but hey, show me how to fix my car that way. And then that's another thing is that we have to make the effort. We can't just expect others to do it for. I'll pay you. Don't worry. I'll just pay it off. I'll give you something. But sometimes doing a little bit of effort yourself. I know back when I was in college and I had a crappy car. It was an 80s car. I did all the repairs myself and I loved it. I learned from it. I bought one of those Clinton books from Auto Palace, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And they had a book where you could read the book and do your own repairs. Mm-hmm. It wasn't easy. Children's books. I had one, and it was in my car, and I did all the repairs myself. I changed the brakes myself, and when I got married, my wife was all, "Wow, you can do all this stuff yourself," and I'm like, kind of had to, and just one of the things. Just I
Out,
didn't,
out
yeah,
of necessity comes
that's what things,
invention.
and it
Mhm.
honestly made me feel much better with myself that I could fix my own car.
Yes.
But a lot of times we forget that if we make the little effort in our lives to make it better,
Hmm.
it actually might bring us up, confidence in ourselves. If you can do the little things in your house, leaking faucet, that's not a hard job, except for turning off the water in your house. You got to figure that out, how to turn the water off in your house. But fixing a leaking faucet is not a hard job if you know, because for me, back in the day when I didn't know what kind of faucet I had, what I would do is I would turn the hot water off on the whole house because I couldn't get to the right faucet. Tell my
Hmm.
wife, okay, I take it out, put towels around it, take the piece out, and go to either Home Depot or Lowe's and say, hey, this is in my faucet. Can I have two of these? Or can I have, I think they were the same, hot and cold. And, and then it was not a hard job. But again, I saved, but rather than calling a plumber,
Oh
and
yeah.
back in my boiler, when I called the plumber to help because it was leaking, he was nice enough to show me that, hey, you can do this yourself if you're interested. And I said, yes, I am. And he said, a lot of people aren't interested in doing it themselves.
Mm.
And he says, as long as you're aware of the pressure is and how to relieve the pressure, these three things are easy to remove. And I
Hmm.
do that myself. Again, I feel great. I save money and then calling the plumber to come and spend sometimes thousands of dollars that I can do
Oh.
myself because of the hours, because you have to take the pressure off, let the heat go off for a while, because it's a boiler. So you have to let the heat go down, take the pressure off, change these things out because
Hmm.
you're paying for him for the hour. So he's waiting around for the boiler to cool down. But
Hmm.
again, sometimes you got to do things for yourself to make yourself feel better, save a little money, but also improve your self
Well,
confidence.
you're paying yourself that way.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, and that's and sometimes that's taking time for yourself, even though you're busy doing a job that helps your household or fixes your car. That's taking time for yourself instead of paying somebody else. So you can see some people trade that off. I'll work harder at this job, and
Yes.
then I'll get that extra money and I'll get my car fixed. And while they're fixing my car, I can sit home and watch TV.
That's one of
Yeah.
the big things is we think that our leisure time watching TV when even YouTube videos, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, but there is stuff that you can take you watching, you can watch TV to learn, or you can watch TV for entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And by taking time to learn, you're helping yourself. By watching entertainment, it might please you for a little while, but if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, addicted to these TV shows, you
Mm-hmm.
might be wasting your time. You got to do something to help intellectual.
Yes, yes. And if you need to fix something, it's probably on YouTube, you know, and
Yes.
do some constructive stuff. You wouldn't believe I do that Native American myths and legends show,
Yeah.
and I watch a lot of videos on Native American stuff to get ideas. Besides buying books and reading, while I'm driving, I'm listening to it, I'm learning. Every chance I can get, and I get mad at myself when I'm not learning because it's like, okay, I got idle time here. I could be learning something new. I could be, improving myself somehow, some way.
Yes.
And if I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, not that I'm bored, but I don't want to be tell myself I'm lazy, but I need to,
Right.
keep going.
Yeah, I understand. And when I'm driving in my car, I listen to different things. I never listen to the radio anymore, except for I use the Bluetooth from my phone to listen to different things on my. And I used to always listen to the radio and just waste time with sports broadcasts and news and stuff like that. But again, you gotta take time for yourself, and some learning makes you feel better about yourself, and
Yeah.
that's one thing. Does watching a TV show, although it might be entertaining for now, at the end of it, will you feel better about yourself? And you got to think about that. I mean, I'm not lecturing you, but saying not the people watching us, but I'm saying sometimes you got to think of what you watch. And yeah, sure, entertain yourself once in a while, but
Yeah.
also put some entertainment that might intellectually stimulate you, or whether it's history or fixing stuff
Well,
or learning a new skill.
yeah. And instead of having the TV as I come home and turn it on and entertain myself, make it a treat. Watch a movie, watch a program and say, this is going to be treat day. I did all this stuff. Then
Yeah.
I'm going to treat myself to a show or a movie or something later on, like it's a special occasion, then it'll mean more to you than if it's just, I do it every day. I come home and I turn the TV and I watch every program there possibly is. And is that really entertaining anymore?
No, I never. We have a TV. We have one TV in the house with cable on it. Although we pay astronomical for the cable, but really we barely watch it. Most of it's through the computers and the YouTube, and also that's nothing about the damn cables. You can get an app and watch your cable on your computer or your tablet or your phone. Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
My wife is big about watching TV shows on her phone, and I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to be addicted to that damn was a black box,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, and that's another thing too. Like myself, I was poor at one point in time, and I couldn't afford the cable or the dish or whatever. Man, that was like, and I looked it up and I said, okay, I can get a plan for $60 or $70,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, that was about as cheap as I was going to get. And I said, okay, I'm going to take $60 or $70 every month, and instead of buying the cable or the dish network or whatever the heck it was,
Yes.
I'm going to buy DVDs or VHS tapes. Now, I said, I'm not going to buy new ones. I'm going to try to spread that money as thin as I possibly can and get the most for my money. So I bought used DVDs. And sure, some of them, once in a while, they weren't any good. But I'm only spending $2. But you know what? If you buy a DVD at a garage sale or even on the internet for $3 or $4, how far can that $70 go?
Absolutely.
A long ways. And then you do that once a month. Pretty soon you got every movie ever made. And you're like, I don't need to rent a movie. I got 1,000 of them now. And I bought these big cases. I don't have one here, but anyway, I got these big cases. I keep them in there, and it's like, okay, they're easy to move now, and I can page through. And I got a movie or a TV show for every day of the week if I wanted to watch.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's back in the day when I first got married. We didn't have cable, and I ended up paying maybe about $60, which was cable was what, like $60, $70 to buy cable. I ended up buying $67, bought an antenna, and put that to the TV, and we got local. It wasn't the greatest signal. This is also before everything was digital. And then, of course, I got a free digital box from the government because everything was going from over the air to digital, digital over the air. So you had to have a special box in it to watch it on your TV.
Mm-hmm.
And for a longest time, I never had cable. We just watched it on the thing. And my son, who was a little kid, we got PBS, which was great. And we also got this Ion TV, I think it was, which was, again, educational. But it was, I don't know what this Ion TV was, but I think they bought educational programs from Canada and they rebroadcasted locally. And it was just the weirdest thing. So my son was actually educated. He still, Curious George was a huge thing when I still have all his books from Curious George and the videos from Curious George.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it was available, and I found a way around it. I couldn't afford cable, so I got over the air. You're right. There's always a way.
Yeah, and it's free, and people don't realize it's like, if I don't have Netflix. And Netflix used to be kind of cheap. I remember when I send out for a DVD, I remember way back in the day, it was only like $6 or $7. You'd send one out and send one back and send one out. And then all of a sudden it's like over the air or the cable. Oh, it was like, it's over the internet now. And it's like, okay, but then I didn't have internet for the longest time. And I don't need that. But now it's expensive,
Netflix, Hulu, it's just expensive. It's just, and I do have cable, but my friends, have you seen a Netflix? No, I haven't seen a Netflix. And I do have Amazon for my deliveries for free, but, I was seeing you can get free TV shows through Prime Video.
Yeah.
I never used that, it's the weirdest thing, but another addiction, I guess, that I don't need.
This is true. Like I said, it's all about making the right choices and doing something for yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's where our time ticks down to our 20 minutes, just like that. I tell you what, it's been a real good, but go out and learn from this and take a little time. Don't put your hiking on the bottom of the list. Put the hiking on the top, because guess who's most important? You are. You're the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Not the washing of the dishes. They could have waited. Not the cleaning of the house. That could have waited too. All of that stuff could have been waiting. But the hiking waited, and now I didn't do anything. Now I got to wait a whole nother week to do something for me.
Absolutely. Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is true. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed us. Lucky, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We'll do this again sometime. And people, everybody, go out and make yourself a great day. Don't just say you're going to have it. Make it happen. Say some of those affirmations. Put down that cell phone. Say, I will, I will, I will.
Absolutely.
You know, and if you don't know how to say an affirmation or you can't figure it out, go to Lucky's channel. He'll show you. He's got ones for every day of the week.
Absolutely. I do. Absolutely. I actually do. Yes, I do.
That's right.
I love to share them. Yes.
Yes. So go out and be the frequency you want to receive, everyone. Thank you, and we'll see you again soon. Peace, everybody.